Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video, and welcome back to Huzzy Patch Note Breakdown. So we're going over the patch 10.8 patch notes, and if everything goes correct, this should be uploaded tonight, which is the day or the night of the patch notes. So the patch will be going live on the 15th. I'm recording this on the 14th, so pretty good timing. So if you watch this video and when you wake up, the new patch will be here, and all these changes that we're about to go through, and I have not seen any of them yet, will be live into the game. Now, obviously, we get to play our mini-game, and I promise you, I even get sent the patch notes early by Riot nowadays. I have not looked. I avoid it now because I have a little mini-game here on HuzzyGames. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe and all that good stuff. But has Kassadin got nerfed? It is our little mini-game that we go through all the time. And so far, it's not gone very well because he hasn't been... Well, he got nerfed, what, a 5 movement speed nerf a few months ago? That's not really a nerf. And this is where Riot's balance system... You know, I love Riot. I'm not here to flame Riot. I am, you know, if you're in pro-Riot or against Riot, I'm in the pro-Riot camp. I like Riot. I've worked with them in a few different projects here or there. I like the company. Their balancing, on the other hand, I think they probably got to just like look up what exactly they define as something that needs to be balanced, because I think sometimes they might look at the wrong statistics and ignore the actual players who are like, please help. So we'll see how it goes. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, because we have the overview. He's not there. Oh man, I love it so much. Right, so buffed, we got Ashe, Evelynn. Evelyn's being buffed. Whoa. Orianna, I think that's cool. Rise, okay, interesting. You have to be careful with the Rise. Soraka, Tristana is getting buffed. Okay. Urgot, that's interesting. He actually could fit into the meta right now, especially with Death's Dance making a big, you know, not comeback, but Death's Dance is really strong in its, like, remake. Xayah, okay. Nerfs, Aphelios, not surprising. Kalista, interesting. Marcy, that has to be for funneling, I'd imagine. Senna, okay. Set, yeah, I'd imagine his W. And Varus, which, yeah, okay. Again, I didn't think Varus is overpowered by any means. Maybe he's strong, but I don't know if anybody else agrees. Feel free to let me know in the comments. As the approach, you know, I do, and I know I haven't mentioned it in a while, and I know people, he's mentioning it again. I do have a game design degree, literally a computer science degree, and I specialize in game design. So I do know about balance and all that stuff. Like, I literally did it in my degree. My approach to game balance was always, instead of nerfing strong things, I would actually like go, how is the role of AD carry right now? It's okay. It's not like the best role. I'd still put jungle and mid ahead of AD carry right now in terms of game impact. So why would you nerf other AD carries? Like maybe the odd one, Aphelios, for example, sure. But I would rather buff other AD carries. And yeah, you are seeing it here, Ashe, Tristana, Xayah. Okay, there's 3 AD carries getting buffed. But in essence, there's 3/4 AD carries getting nerfed. So maybe it's like less about nerfing, more about buffing. Like there's no Vayne buff. When do you see really Vaynes pop off that much anymore? There's no Severe. There's no, you know, there's other AD carries that they could just bring on to the strong level. So that's something that I would potentially say, but that's just me. All right, here we go. So we got some new skins. We've got the Coven line. And I will say there was some weird controversy around this line of skins. And it's something that I may as well mention because it's interesting. And, you know, I'm not going to delve completely into the topic because I don't know all, you know, I don't know all the information. But basically, there was an artist or someone that worked in the creative department at Riot who was in charge, or they were given the Coven project line to like, right, you know, it's your baby, go and make the Coven ideas and all that. And apparently it got quite toxic for that person, that a boss in management level kept like diminishing or like, you know, demeaning, sorry, that employee for wanting Coven skins or something. It was something like that. And they actually, the artist that was like in charge of they left Riot because of it. And obviously, yes, Riot has had a lot of their issues over the past couple of years and they are looking to improve. But that came out recently when these are like announced, oh, there's COVID. That artist kind of like, I don't work at Riot anymore, but I got to share this. I was in charge of it, etc. And I was like, well, that artist gets to finally see their work in the game. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool. And I'm not sure if that manager or whatever is still at Riot. Hopefully not. But yeah, they're pretty cool skins. Like, I don't know why they would be a bad skin line. They actually look pretty damn sweet. So I'll be obviously picking them all up. as we always do on my main account, including the Prestige Edition. So, yeah, again, they're not really champions I play. Morgana is probably out of those three the one I play the most, because she's the most, I'm half asleep at the moment. I'm going to play a support game. No offense. I'm going to play Morgana, because why not? But, yeah. Okay, so let's get into the actual changes, though. Aphelios. Passive, bonus armor penetration removed, lethality added, Q ability level scaling, Q ability level scaling takes longer for base damage and cooldowns, damage ratio increase. So they're basically nerfing, in essence, his early game. I told you guys, I think pretty much since this champion got released, is because his kit is fundamentally broken. And it just is. Like, to be honest, like, it's going to be very hard for someone to convince me and a lot of the player base that his kit is balanced. He can do everything. Like, in the role of AD carry, you have specialist AD carries. Okay, Caitlyn is good at critting and being like mid to high range poke. Cool. Ezreal, poke. Draven, all in. They've all got them. Aphelios basically ticks every box for an AD carry. Like, there's very few things that he can't do. That's the problem. So, piece by piece, his kit is going to be ripped apart. And I said it last time that he got a nerf. I think he even got a nerf last patch. The only way that I would say they truly can make this champion ever work in, okay, he's not insanely broken or he's not insanely weak, make him only have 2 guns. Specialize him. Like, even having 2 guns means that he's got 2 different play styles that he can kind of intermingle. But having 5 guns, a poke gun, a teamfight fire cannon, a gravity CC gun, it's just too much stuff. Make him have 2 guns. Maybe do a community vote on it. What 2 guns should we make him have? And go from there, because I just don't think it's going to work in its current state. That's just me. All right, so they're also doing all that stuff. We're not going to go through the individual scaling and everything, but there's that. Ashe. Q bonus attack speed increase. So this is a buff. So the Q attack speed was 20%. It's still 20% at rank 1, but there is a 5% buff at rank 2. And it is actually a pretty big buff in late game. At rank 5, it used to be a 40% attack speed bonus. It is now a 60% attack speed bonus. That is quite big. So Ashe in late game with the on-hit build, so Blade the Ruin King and all that stuff, is going to wreck people if she's actually allowed to attack. So that's good to see. I like buffs. Evelyn, weird buff to me. I'm not in the camp personally that Evelyn is weak. I just think she's very specialist. And again, I don't have a problem with champions being specialist in League of Legends. We have like 150 odd champions. If 25 of them are like, in order to play Evelyn, you probably should be a main of her. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think Evelyn just falls into that camp. And the difference between a good and a bad Evelyn is miles apart. Good Evelyns still, even before this buff, are pretty strong. So buffing that does make me a bit like, good. So that's one thing to worth note. It is a bit of a buff, though, in terms of the maximum damage has been buffed and the minimum damage has been buffed of her Q hate spikes. So just an all-out damage buff. Callista, did not mean to press the music. I will probably get rid of that in editing. Sorry. Callista, base armor reduced, E slow decreased. Okay, so nerfs. It probably is the top lane focus that they might be going for here. Because, yeah, some people are doing top lane Callista. I don't really know why, but they are. Again, the one thing that I think has happened to me, at least in Season 10, well, not me, but I've experienced more in Season 10, and maybe you guys agree or not, Season 10 seems to be the season where people are more obsessed with just getting LP. They don't want to be necessarily meta. They don't want to be like, I'm just going to play AD carries. I'm just going to play mids. It's really cheesy. Like, I've seen more funneling this season than ever before. I've seen weird picks like supports top and Callista top than ever before. It feels like people are desperate for LP. Because playing something like Callista, sure, you can probably get a bunch of LP kind of playing it, but it isn't probably going to make you a better player. Same thing of playing when Soraka and Sona top were top laners. It wasn't going to make you a better player. I don't know, that just kind of summarizes Season 10 for me. Season 10, like every single season in League, you can kind of put like a tagline to it. Season 1, the noob season. Season 2, things are getting better. Season 3, oh. Season 4, oh, pro play is amazing. They all have them. Season 6, let's not speak about Season 6. Season 9, oof. Season 10 is two taglines. People desperate for LP and play duo queue. Like, those are the two taglines for Season 10, I think. But there's that. So that's good, I guess, for me as someone that plays quite a bit of top. If she's nerfed in top lane, cool. And it does seem the nerf, by the way, is making her squishier to armor, so bruisers can kill her easier. And also, what was annoying was how much she slowed you. Let's say you were playing Darius against Kalista. Yeah, I could kill her, but I can't get to her. She's hopping and slowing me with Rend. It's a 15% nerf at rank 1 on her E. And yes, it doesn't even equalize. It used to be 45% at rank 5. It's now 42%. But by then, it's okay. Like, it's still a nerf, but it's just giving the bruises in the early game, if people are still trying to take a top lane, it's giving them a chance to kill her, which is good. But yeah. But there's that. So next up, Master Yi. So again, I don't rate Master Yi as a great champion, but you can't ignore funneling is effective because it's one person, like, it's a hyper carry. Master Yi is a hyper carry. It's one hyper carry getting 2 portions of high gold income. It's getting the jungle income and it's getting the mid income. It's very hard to deal with, and when you're combining that with, most of the time, a Taric that is giving him a stun and invulnerability, and Master Yi has a tower reset thing, it's nearly impossible to, like, do well against as an individual. It takes a team effort to stop funneling, and that, by the way, isn't even the end of it. It's alright, so 2 out of the 5 people on one team are funneling, the mid laner and jungler. Well, there's still a top laner and there's still a bot lane that are playing normally on the enemy team. So it's like, as a team, you need to stop the funnel, but then you also are trying to stop the enemy bot lane and the enemy top. It just creates a bit of madness. So I don't mind nerfs of this at all. So what are they doing? So the early attack speed bonus on Highlander is being nerfed. It was 30% at rank 1. It's now 25%. It was 55% at rank 2. It's now 45%. And it was 80% at rank 3. It's now 65%. So in essence, a pretty big nerf, 10 to 50% nerf mid to late game, which is going to affect him. He's still going to be strong if he's not CC'd. Like, it's Yi. Like, he's always been that. I don't rate Yi, but do I think he's an incredibly weak champion? It's situational. If you let a Yi hit you in late game against your most champions, if Yi's got a full build and you can't stop him, yeah, he's going to kill you. It's the same as a Tristana Mid type thing. That's the kind of point of those champions. But because they're so basic and you just CC them, that's their counter. And that's obviously why the funnel works, is because the Taric element of the funnel covers the Master Yi's weakness. So that's kind of what it's all about. Orianna. W movement speed modifier increase later. E shield ratio increase. I actually like to see Orianna buffs. I do like Orianna. I think she's always been pretty good, but she hasn't been, like, impactful for a while, is what I'd say. Like, there's just other things to pick over Orianna. So maybe this would help. I love big wombo combos with Orianna, and like the skill of sneaking your ball in the right place to get it, I think is really cool. So it used to be the ally haste and slow. I think they were both the same, so it increased your movement speed by 30% and also slowed the enemy by 30. So it's now a 10% buff across the board, it looks like. So it used to be 20% at rank 1 and 40% at rank 5. It's now 30% at rank 1, 50% at rank 5. That's pretty cool and pretty big. The E, the shield ratio of actually how much you're giving a shield, its AP ratio used to be 0.4% ability, 0.4 ability power. So if you have 1,000 ability power, you'd be shielding somebody for 400 ability, 400. It's now a 0.5 ratio, which means, again, if you've got 1,000 ability power, you'll be shielding them for 500 now instead of 400. Again, Orianna isn't exactly the type of champion that's going to have 1,000 ability power. 400 to 500, maybe 600 if you're pretty strong and fed with a death cap and stuff, maybe. But that's not bad. She usually, from memory, runs Summon Airy, which has that shield synergy. So that is going to be a pretty good buff for Orianna. Ryze. So Ryze is a champion I have to be very careful with. He has the potential to completely take over the games and the meta. in both pro play and solo queue. In solo queue, a lot of the meta with Ryze is just get as strong as possible to blow everything up and generally ignore his ultimate exists. Because his ultimate, when you don't have any communication with your team, can actually hurt you more than help. In pro play, you'll see the ultimate be used for quite well. So what are they doing? Health-wise, they're giving him 4.5 more health at base. They're giving him 0.5 more armor, and they're giving him 0.1 actually, more attack damage. That's just cleaning up. Again, for ages, Riot has been looking at, the 0.48 after health, the 0.552 after armor. Riot don't want that stuff. That just overcomplicates it, makes it a bit stupid. So they have been just base, kind of chopping off the decimals. And from what I've always seen, they're never nerfing it. They're always like, okay, you've got 21.552 armor. All right, we're not going to make it 21. We'll make it 22. They're always making it better, not worse. But obviously, they're tiny changes that 99.9999% of the people will never notice. But the odd Ryze player probably will. And then also the Q movement speed used to be 20% of rank 1 when you get the, I think, when you consume two runes. So basically, if you're looking for the Q proc from your runes, not the W proc, you got the movement speed. It used to be a 20% movement speed buff. It's now a 28% at rank 1. And at late game, it used to be a 40%. It's now 44. Little buff, but why not? Ryze is a champion that generally could take phase rush. It even got buffed recently, I think. So Ryze actually could be in a pretty good spot. And I'd say be careful about Ryze potentially in your games in the upcoming next few days and weeks. Senna, passive missed Wraith Spawn chance decreased. It used to be a 25% chance on minions that Senna doesn't kill. It's now 22. They keep nerfing, legitimately, they keep nerfing her drop rate because it's broke. Let's be honest. You can't give champions this easy scaling. There's no skill to scaling on Senna. At least Nasus and Veigar, you have to kill stuff yourself and last hit or, and all that stuff. Senna hasn't had to do that. Oh, something died? Oh, yoink, I'll pick up that soul. That's Senna. There's even a strategy nowadays, and this is what this is nerfing, of I'm the AD carry player, I'm going to play Senna. My support is actually going to play a AP bruiser, let's say like a Galio. The Galio is going to farm. He's the support. I'm Senna, but I don't want to farm because I get increased chance on getting the souls when I'm not actually killing the farm. That's legitimately a strategy right now. And I had a comment not long ago when that strategy was in a video going, well, no, that's just the support. It's not. It's actually the AD carry, but it's an AD carry strategy where the AD carry refuses to farm pretty much until they get 100 stacks, or maybe less than that, but until they get a pretty healthy base stacks on Senna because the stacks are so valuable. So this is still probably not the end of this. Again, it's the type of thing that Aphelios has the problem. It could be a core fundamental thing that's just broken in her kit that is just so difficult to balance. It may just have to change. So yeah. Set. So I did say the W is probably going to be it. So the base damage is what's going down. It used to be a rank 1 90 and then a rank 5 210. It's now rank 180 and rank 5 180. That's fine. I've always said Set, the strongest thing with that champion is his W by a decent amount, and good sets even just poke with his W. Even the base damage. Some people have questioned me about that, going, Huz, why are you using the W as poke? When you don't have any grit in your health bar. That's what people do. It's so strong as even a poke tool if you especially land the true damage side of it or the middle of it. So that's a bit of a nerf to that, but I am completely fine. As a set player, I don't think that a lot about the champion is broken. I don't think his kit is broken. I think just his numbers on W are a bit questionable here or there. So that's fine. Soraka, base mana increased, Q cooldown decreased. So they are probably... again, the Riot was scared probably of buffing supports like Soraka recently because, hey, they're going to go back to top lane. I think people are over that now and Riot's kind of got that under control. So they're back to be okay, Soraka's a bit weak. Let's buff her up. People are just going to play her in support. So they're giving her quite a lot more mana, 50 more mana as base. That's a decent amount. And Q Star Call it is now cheaper too. So it used to be 60 at rank 1, it's now 45, and at rank 5, it used to be 80 mana, it's now 65. That's really good if for a Soraka player. You're getting more mana as base, and it's cheaper. That's just straight up buffs. So there's that. Tristana, E bonus damage ratio increased. Again, I think they need to be a bit careful with Tristana here or there. I think there's definitely less of them recently, but Tristana Mid was a big popular kind of cheesy thing that like you took Ignite on Tristana, you go all in at level 2. Oh, you didn't get ahead of the mage. Well, you're dead now. Because, you know, mages, again, are in essence to kill... Mages are designed to kill AD carries, fundamentally. So if the Tristana got behind, she always was a little bit in trouble. So what are they doing? So they're giving her bonus attack damage is what obviously the explosion goes off. Late game, yeah, that's quite a big buff. So not really any changes in crazy early game, but in rank 5, which obviously you do max E on Tristana, it used to do 130% bonus attack damage in the explosion. It's now 150%, a 20% damage buff. That's pretty decent. So look out for Tristana late game, I guess, and do not stand near the tower when she's attacking the attack, you know, putting the bomb on the tower, etc., because that will hurt. Urgot. E bug fixes and R cooldown decreased. Interesting. So there was a bug fix apparently where he wasn't getting extra movement speed on his dash. So apparently he does now do that, and he also now does properly CC somebody for the full duration of 1.5 seconds, which again, that does help. Also, the cooldown of his ultimate is being buffed, so it is a 20% lower cooldown in a rank 1 and 10 cooldown reduction at rank 2, and then the same in late game, which I think is fine, because by then Urgot is a champion that generally does get close, if not to 40% cooldown reduction. Varus, so again, Urgot, I think that's fine. He could be strong. Black Cleaver is a strong item right now. Death Dance, incredibly strong item right now. And hell, there's even a chance that Urgot could probably pull off Blade of the Ruined King if you're going PTA on Urgot. Varus, our cooldown increased. So this is a nerf. So it's a 110 seconds what it used to be. It is now 130 seconds at rank 1. It used to be 90 seconds at rank 2. It's now 100, and it's now the same at rank 3. So it's an early game nerf to Varus. Maybe it's giving him a bit too much lane pressure. His ultimate, you know, being able to chain CC 2 people together, if not 3 if the jungler's there. So I'm okay with that because it's not affecting his damage output. If it was a damage nerf, I'd question it, but it's not a damage nerf. Xayah, E damage per feather hit increased. I do definitely agree that she needs a type of damage buff. I've seen it very occasionally as Xayah, and it's like, dude, you just don't do much damage right now. So it used to do additional feather hit damage, used to do 10% less damage per feather. It's now only 5% damage. So it's a 5% damage buff in essence to what it used to be. That's not bad. Champion ability timers. So we saw some players request quality of life changes for more abilities with reactivations and casts. So basically when you control click when you're your own abilities and you're telling the cooldown when something's on cooldown, apparently it's just letting people know more about these abilities in particular. So feel free to pause it if you want to look through if there's any ability that you're like, oh, that's something that I could use and go through. But yeah, the bar as well, you can also ping people. Like Draven can now ping when his spinning axe is coming on cooldown, I guess. Funnel. So this is interesting. Our attempts at reducing the effectiveness of funnel have notably cut the play rate of the strategy, but it's still proving to be successful. It's still to prove to be a successful one for those who continue to do it. We want to see if modifying our current levers work to further curb pairings like Master Yi and Tarek's success. So they are doing the Minion Gob Penalty. It used to be 14 minutes in the game. It's now 20. So yes, you do get a penalty if you're farming together a bit too much or something. So the Minion Gob Penalty is this: gold earned from minion kills is greater than 40% of your gold is cut from earning from monsters, something like that. So wait, hang on. Gold earned from minion kills is greater than 40% of your gold earned from monsters. So if you're the jungler and you have a lot of jungle farm, and then you go to lane to go get all the lane farm, it will recognize that and basically give you a lot less money from the lane farm. Therefore, the funnel of earning, I'm earning jungle farm and I'm earning mid farm is heavily reduced. Again, a lot of people may ask, why is funnel so disliked? And we spoke about it earlier. It's just something that is a pain. It doesn't feel like a skillful thing that people are doing. It feels like a pure cheese thing that they're doing. And League should be a skillful game for the most part. Yeah, so that's my opinion. Like, it's basically, in essence, one person is playing it and one person's pretty much half AFK. Like, if you're the Taric in the funnel, you're not playing League. Like, let's be real. Like, I don't personally know people that have done funnel, so I can't be like, why do you do it? Again, the answer's for LP, if let's be honest. But does the Taric get joy out of actually playing the game in this situation? No. Does the Master Yi? Oh yeah, I'd imagine he does. He's getting a lot of farm. He's becoming invulnerable. He's getting protected by a Taric 24/7. I'm sure he's having fun. But yeah, like, it's just not a fun strategy to play with. Like, I've played with funnels. I'm like, well, this is boring. I've played against them. It's boring. It's not fun for anybody, probably apart from the Master Yi himself. So it's just kind of death changes. Pity zooms on death gain a smaller version of home guards, which gives the player about 2.5 seconds less time to get back to lane. That's nice. And also, Lone Wolf at levels 1 to 6, a champion solo kill grants 20% more experience, and assists grant 20% less experience. Oh, wow. So solo kills now are even bigger than they've ever been. So top lane solo kills and stuff, mid lane solo kills, that is bigger snowball potential than ever. Bot lane, less snowball potential because it's less XP to the person that gets the assist, who more often than not will be the support. Or if a jungler's ganking, they're also getting less. So it's kind of focusing more on individual solo play rather than team play, at least in the beginning of the game. Oh yeah, only one levels 1 to 6 for solo XP, and levels 7 to 8 it gets nerfed a little bit to 10%, like, better, you know, it's reduced. And then after level 8, so when you get to level 9, then I think the XP is completely normal. Jungle buffs and quality of life and all that stuff. So the Hunter's Machete, pretty much all of them, I think, are relatively the same buff, it does look like. Yep, so it is now, you're gaining, instead of 1.25 times more XP, it's now 1.35 times more XP at levels 9+. So, you know, that mid game that a lot of junglers, I think, struggle with to kind of keep up to their laners at that point, I think that's going to help a lot. And also, a new passive for all of them now heals 50% more when below 30% maximum health. What that helps with is a jungler that can stay out in jungle more. Is like your... Especially in like the early game, there are some junglers that they are legitimate junglers, and yeah, you could try and kite them and do perfect, all that stuff. You're still maybe going to get low in some. This helps a lot to stay farming, and that farm can keep you relevant. That farm giving you more healing can maybe make you do one extra gank every now and then to keep in the game. And I think that's very important. So that's really good. One for all, I'm not really cared about. Practice tool additions, add 100 XP, 100 HP and all that. So that's fine. Again, armor's good. So you actually now can add resistances and take away resistances from dummies. So if you're like, I play AD carry and I want to know if a dummy, like, I can do, like, see how much damage I'm doing to a dummy with no armor. See how much I'm doing to a dummy with 50 armor. See how much damage I'm doing with 100 armor. You can actually learn that now, like, in a practice tool. I think that's pretty good. So that's awesome. So there's all that stuff, which is awesome. Like, you know, just helps a lot to player development if you're looking to practice in the practice tool. You got some buffs, bug fixes and stuff. We're not going to go through those right now. We got the new Coven stuff. Again, not sure if there's any green, like, League partner skins. Unfortunately, with everything going on, and again, let's be honest, I'm not going to chase them for it. You know, there's a lot of craziness going on. So I haven't even received the most recent League partner chromas, which I believe was supposed to be for the Mordekaiser skin. And that was a couple weeks ago. So I haven't even received those. Don't know if there's any for this one. But that is it. That is the patch notes. So yeah, once again, Kassadin escapes nerfs, which is hilarious for me. But overall, pretty good patch. Some things I definitely agree with. Some things I'm like, meh. I'm on the fence about, like Rise buffs. I'm a bit scared about, if I'm honest. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Hopefully you guys are doing well, though. Let me know what you think about the patch down below. But that's going to be it. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Enjoy solo queue, enjoy League, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.